Lawrence. I am a senior and at Mesa High, and over the course of 2017-2018 school year, I have been interning in a special education class with 2 kindergartners and a first grader. It has taught me how special a person needs to step in the shoes that Miss Contreras fills. Miss Contreras is the teacher of the classroom over at Porter Elementary School. She and Miss Brittany make it seem like it's easy, but these boys, they have a long way ahead of them, and they're great. Like, individually getting to know them over the course of a year, they're amazing students and they're capable of anything. They just needed a little extra help. But being in Miss Contreras' class, it has taught me, like, I loved it. I love teaching Gabriel, Tyler, and Isaac. Like, making sure that they knew what they needed made my day. And I loved it, and to be honest, sometimes I struggled. It was hard. Like, watching Miss Contreras just come up and, like, have a lesson prepared, and it just, I wasn't quite ready. But over the course of a year, I've gotten more ready. Like, I've started creating lessons, I've worked with the boys one-on-one, and I've really gotten to know them. And thanks to Miss Contreras and Miss Brittany, the whole staff at Porter Elementary School has been great to me. Intro video, I have been interning at Porter Elementary School, and I have been working in a classroom that Miss Contreras runs. She's a special education teacher for kindergarten through 3rd graders. And she let me work one-on-one with the students. I have to put a huge disclaimer in right here is, my project is specifically for special education kindergartners, but with there only being 3 students in the classroom, I couldn't, like, pick and choose, so Gabriel and Isaac are kindergartners, but Tyler is indeed a 1st grader, so it kind of, I didn't want to feel like I needed to exclude Tyler. I've made him feel included in part of it, and I hope that does not affect or impact my score in any way. Miss Brittany and Miss Contreras have made a difference in these 3, honestly. It makes me happy that there's a teacher like this, and I can't wait to pursue my education. For this project, I needed to pick a college, and my obvious choice was ASU, the teaching college. But I don't think I'm going to start there. I've decided for the first 2 years after graduation in May, I will be going to MCC, and I will be getting my regular core classes out of the way and enrolling in their teacher programs for, like, a base. And after MCC, I will be attending ASU, where I will receive my bachelor's in education with the dual certification, in special education. Working on some research, so doing some research for this thing, I had to look up impacts teachers have on students, what kind of degrees you need, and I also had to use, like, cut this out so I can. I had to look up needs and influences of special education teachers. The best way to educate students with the highest needs, like, there's certain students that may have autism, they have emotional disorders, or they're just a little bit lacking or a little bit behind. Most states have put aside money for private schools so they can specifically send these specific students to these private education schools so they can better, like, individualize and better, like, get a steady maintenance on their behaviors. What our state is calling is a simple solution to a complex problem. sending these students away to private schools isn't really the least restrictive environment for them because they need interaction, they need social skills, and they need to learn with regular kids so they don't feel like they're behind or they just feel so different that they can't be a part of it. Influence that special education has on students or teachers in general, it helps build self-confidence. Being away for an hour helps them get a handle on certain skills that they were lacking before. They just need a little more clarification. This one-on-one grouping has really impacted themselves so they have more self-confidence in class. They're easier to talk with students. They can be more active in classroom activities without feeling like they are dumb or they feel so stupid that they can't answer the question or they can't raise their hand because they're shy. It gives them, the hour away gives them a chance to get out of their shell a little bit and then go back to class feeling like they 100% can nail the test or they can just do great on the assignment and work with other students. In Contreras class, to help build self-confidence and have the boys have a little fun with whatever activity we're working on, we try different games and we do different ways to engage them in learning, specifically clapping games, we do coloring activities, and we do word packets on specific vowels or consonants. For these 3 students to be here, they have an IEP, an individualized education plan for these students. And by first glance, you couldn't tell that some of them had they were a little behind.
We have 2 teachers that support students who are based in gen ed classrooms, and they get services for their specific learning disability, whether it's reading, writing, or math. And then also on our campus we have a program called SLLD, which is a little more severe learning disability, and that is just a 5th and 6th grade program. And those students are what we call self-contained, but they have anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes a day of inclusion opportunities, either in special or specific subjects, STEM lab, things like that. And that's worked out on an individual IEP basis. We have a self-contained ED program for emotional disabilities, and that is 2 different classrooms, so 3rd and 4th grade, and then a 5th and 6th grade room. Although there's a little flexibility there based on numbers. So for example, if the 3rd and 4th grade room was a really small class size, but all of a sudden there was, 20 need for 20 students in 5th and 6th, then that might become a 3, 4, 5 combo. So there's flexibility in the grade levels taught in that particular room. And then we have SID, which is even more severe than the SLLD, and a lot of those students are nonverbal, possibly have some medical needs, might have some physical impairments as well. So that is self-contained primary and intermediate. So those are the programs on
Okay, 1, 2. I'm Ashley Cronenbutter. I'm a school psychologist intern at Porter Elementary in Mesa Public Schools. This is my first year working as a school psychologist.
Alright. Okay, how many years have you been working with special education students?
So this is my first year working full-time within a school setting with kiddos that are in special education. However, I've been working with kids that have more needs for about 6 years now in behavioral health settings and in different mentoring types of programs outside of the school setting.
What do you feel in this day teachers are missing when working with students?
I think just that connection piece sometimes, taking a step back from just teaching the curriculum and really getting to know the students and learning about their backgrounds and their experiences and kind of where their needs are, what are their strengths, but also, what are some challenges that we can really start with, just meeting them where they are.
Do you believe that all teachers should have some sort of special education background when teaching students?
Absolutely. I think understanding that each child is a very different learner. So just a basic understanding of, how to teach kiddos and intervene when they have different academic difficulties. That maybe sometimes special education teachers have been taught, but might not have been taught in a general education type of class throughout college. I think also just an understanding of special education legally. What does a specific learning disability look like? What is an emotional disability? Having that understanding might take away some of the stigma sometimes when you have a kiddo that's maybe not in special education, but you have a lot of.
What is your position at Porter Elementary School, like your job title?
My job title, I call myself resource teacher, but it's also called the special ed teacher.
All right. How many years have you been teaching special education and regular education?
So this is my 25th year in education. I've taught the first 8 in special ed in different positions, self-contained, a very restrictive behavioral program. I've taught junior high, I taught elementary school, and I taught 1 year of special ed high school at Mesa High, and that led me into teaching regular ed. So for the next 15 years, I taught AVID and sophomore English and sophomore honors English. And now I'm back to special ed for the last, this is my second year back, and I'm here at Porter Elementary School. I also teach online for Mesa Distance Learning, so I'm at high school.
All right. So what is your position at the school called?
I'm considered a special ed instructional.
All right. How many years have you been teaching in like the special education department, or just in general, regular education?
This is my 3rd year here at Porter. Technically, I was here 3 months before the 3 years, but I was just here to replace another aide that quit, and 2 months left in the year. And so I finished up as a math instructor aide
Okay, come on, we have a few more left. Okay. Hello. Is it below 5? 5 below? Is pi and below? Below and below? Below and below. Okay, it's snowing. Okay, where does snow go? Snow pie? Pie, snow blue? Or snow blue? I just wonder if they want to talk to me, so which the parents are. But I also want to let the parents know that I was You guys are doing so great. I'm so proud of you guys. Guys, say hi.
Hi.
Don't wait for my.
L. L. Tyler.